And if you look inside, some highlights from the motherboard. Of course, this is the processor right here, where it goes. LGA socket 775. It's the Intel Core 2 Duo 2.4 gigahertz E6600 processor, I believe. These are some standard PCI slots right here, 3 of those, the white ones. These 3 black slots are PCI Express slots. This is a PCI Express 1X slot, a 4X slot, and a 16X slot. And these are the SATA connectors here and here for connecting the drives.
Where?
Right here, these 4.
Those 4.
And these 2. There's 6 SATA connectors on this particular motherboard. This is where the power supply connects right here. And this motherboard, like most motherboards today, has a lot of things built in that didn't used to be built into old computers. It has a sound card built in. It has a gigabit Ethernet built in. And also several USB ports, 6 on the back and 2 on the front, I believe.
Okay.
So, that's what's commonly referred to as the CMOS battery. It's just a little CR2032 lithium battery, 3 volts, about the size of the quarter. And its function is to keep the date and time clock current when the computer's powered off, as it is right now, and also to store the hardware configuration in the BIOS. And that is which hard drives are installed in what configuration, how much memory is installed, and various other options. And so that battery keeps that information current in the computer while it's not powered up.
Okay, so now we're going to put it back together.
Right, and anytime you're working on a computer, you want to be very careful of static electricity. Static electricity can damage the very sensitive electronic components in there. Here's a ESD wrist strap. It's got just a stretching strap with some metal to touch your skin. Obviously, you always want to do this when the computer's unplugged and powered off, and then just a little alligator clip that we connect to the metal chassis. And what that does is keep us the same potential, so there's no static electricity. Okay, so to put this back together, the first thing we'll do is we'll put the memory chip back in. This is a 1 gigabyte DDR2 memory chip. This particular one's made by Samsung, PC5300. And if you notice, it only goes in one way. There's a slot here. And so you want to carefully put that in, give it a push. Until the 2 things lock. And once they lock, I like to just give them a little wiggle, make sure it's seated. Okay?
Okay.
The next thing we'll do is go ahead and connect the drives. And the first drives we will connect are the DVD drives. These are SATA DVD drives. And these connectors just plug into the motherboard like so. Just set them in there until they click into place. And we'll wiggle, make sure they're tight. The next thing I'm going to connect is the computer power supply, which is this connector here. This is the power supply. This provides the various voltages of electricity needed for the motherboard to operate. Put that in so it latches into place. And lastly, we will connect the hard drives, these 2 here, into the motherboard, like so. And finally, the 3rd hard drive we will plug in. Like so.
So you're using SATA connectors for the DVDs and for the hard drives?
Correct. Okay, the last couple things we have to put in are the expansion cards and the heatsink. So let's go ahead and put the heatsink in. Normally, if you're going to take this off and do something, you should clean off the thermal compound and apply new thermal compound, but since we just took it off, we're just going to put it right back on. This goes on this little hinge right here. and then it just rotates forward into position like so. And there's 2 screws that hold it into place on either side. Okay. Lastly, expansion cards. This is a FireWire card. Allows us to connect our video camera down so we make these fantastic training videos for you students. This is a PCI card, so we just slide it into place there. And without a video card, we can't do much. This is a video card. It's got its own fan, its own CPU, its own memory. NVIDIA 7950 GS model. Somewhat mid-range on the graphics circuit today. And we're going to slide this into the 16X PCI Express slot. And the reason it goes in there is that's where it fits, and also that gives it the maximum data transfer between the system bus and the graphics card.
Okay, what I'd like to do at this point is show how the card, what it looks like on the back. So once you put the video card in, you can see here is the FireWire card we just put in, and here's the video card, and this one can actually connect 2 monitors to it.
Correct, and if we had other expansion cards to put in, we would just take out the blank and set it in the slot. Okay. This video card requires extra power, more power than it can get through the PCI Express bus, so this power connector connects to the video card like this, so make sure it has an ample supply of electricity to do what it needs to do. Close this, and then where's the blue thing?
Really, I've not seen one of those before.
Well, these Dell machines are kind of nice. They're designed to be toolless, so you can do all this without tools, and that just holds the expansion card in place.
Yeah, we used to use a screw.
Correct.
On the exterior, yeah.
Between this and that, no tools.
Yeah.
Notice I put all the exception of the screwdriver to hold the heat sink in.
Pretty cool.
That's about it. Be careful, take your time, don't force things. Be wary of static electricity, and if you're not sure, Google is your friend.
So now in looking at this system put together, we have actually on the bottom, we have 2 hard drives.
One there, one there.
And then we have this being the heat sink and fan for the CPU.
That's right.
And then up here,
DVD, burner, hard drive.
Okay, and then in the top right-hand corner, we have the power supply.
Power supply takes the wall current, which we plug in to the outlet right there, and converts it and all the various electricity needed throughout the computer. It feeds each drive, the motherboard, and the video card.